Hey everybody, Admiral Seabass here with German Turn 5 of Axis and Allies Global 40. It's been a couple weeks and man, work and life have been super busy, so I haven't been able to make any videos for a couple weeks, but hoping to get back at it this weekend next. So here's German Turn number 5, and I've made most of my combat moves already, and gonna show you in a minute what they are. I need to reset a couple things here because I had to remake this video because of a goof that I made. So I'm gonna reset some stuff here and show you what happened. So first of all, here's my combat moves. Nothing over there. This is gonna be a walkover here in western Ukraine because we only got a AAA defending. So I've already made those income adjustments there. And then I'm going to show you the battle in Ukraine here, and I'm going to transfer that to the battle. Okay, here's the battle for Ukraine, and this is going to be a close one. AAA and 3 tanks defending for the Russians, a mech, 2 tanks, and a heavy tank, which gets armor target select of 1, which is why I have to roll the normal dice there. So let's see what the Germans can do. Okay, they got 2 hits. So, no armor target select, which won't matter because the Russians will lose that guy and they'll lose a tank. So now the Russians get a shoot back with 3 tanks. They get 1 hit, so the Germans will lose the mech. So now the Germans get 2 tanks, and that armor target select doesn't really matter now since you got only tanks defending. So we'll just roll red dice. Looking for 2 hits. They got 1. Not very good. So Russians shoot back. No hits. That's also not very good. So we'll go again here. 2 tanks and a heavy. That's it. Russians shoot back and they get a hit. So there we go. Okay, Germans take Ukraine there, and that's worth 2. So piece of pie there, and up 2, down 2, and then let me set up this one and then I'll be back. Okay, so here the Russians again have a AAA and 3 tanks defending against 4 mechs and 2 heavy armor. So the 4 mechs will shoot at 1, and the heavy armor will shoot at 2. Sorry, the heavy armor will shoot at 4. So we're looking for 4 hits, and you know what? Those heavy armor have armor target select, so we're going to go ahead and roll normal dice for them. Okay, 1 hit, that's a miss. 2 hits. So 1, 2. And then the Russians will shoot back with 3 at 3 or less, and they get 1 hit. So let me chip these out, and we're down to 3 mechs. So 3, and you know what? The armor target select doesn't matter anymore, so we're just looking for 2 hits for the Germans. And of course, they only get 1. So now Russians shoot back and they get a hit. So there's a mech gone. Now the Germans have 2 at 1 and 2 at 4. Looking for 1 hit. Can you believe that? I think I've rolled 6 dice for heavy armor for the Germans and 1 has hit. Now, fortunate for the Germans, we only needed 1. So the Russians will shoot back and they'll miss. So Belarus is German. Decent stack there. And we'll put a piece of pie down there. And the Germans go up 1 more. Now they're tied with the Americans. The Russians go down 1. Okay. This one I think I think I need to set that one up, so hang on. Okay, this is the battle for Baltic states. 2 mechs for the Germans, 3 tacticals. And I've got these split because they came from different areas and they have different fuel against 1 artillery. Germans are just looking for 1 hit. And they got it. So that guy goes here. Can he take out a mech? Nope, he cannot. So Baltic states also becomes German. Russians down 1. Germans up 1. And then let me put these mechs back here. And then let me put these planes back here too. Sorry about that. It's been a while since I played. It's been a couple of weeks, so I've been itching to get going, so I'm kind of wanting to move fast here. And then finally, we've got in Viborg, we've got 2 Russian infantry and a tactical against, 2 German infantry and a tactical against 1 Russian infantry. So that'll be 2 at 1. I'm not going to move this one over. We're just looking for 1 hit, which we got. Glad we brought that tactical along. The Russians shoot back, and they miss. So that Russian guy goes away. That's not worth anything, but the Germans do now control it. So take all the target markers off. So there's where things stand. Russia's got 1 decent counterattacking force, maybe 2, if they want to stretch out of Leningrad. So it'd be interesting to see what the Russians do. And now the Germans have got some interesting decisions relating to non-combat moves. Do they pull out of Scotland, and if so, where do they go? Where do all these guys go? That's 10 ground units. Where do these guys go? Where do the planes fly back to? Where do these planes fly to? Where does this Navy go? Lots of interesting decisions I need to make now, and then I'll show you what I did. Okay, here's my non-combat moves. The 3 strategic bombers that supported the move north there by the 3 tactical bombers that supported the move north there by Germany, all going to go back to eastern Poland. Nice central location. German Navy all moved out of 111 into 113. I'll tell you why I did that. I thought about 112. Note I put a light cruiser here as a blocker in case this Navy wants to go 1, 2, 3 or up here. So I put a blocker there. I thought about doing 112, but then I'm like, wait a minute, because here these guys and all those transports and all these guys are probably going to Leningrad next turn. And I thought about doing 112 just to give flexibility in case whatever happens over here, I need that force somewhere over here. Here's why I didn't do that. If these guys are in 112, to get to 115, I have to go 1, 2, 3, which has to use this naval base. Well, guess what? Americans have got a bomber down here in Gibraltar that could probably come up here and hit this naval base, maybe. And if they do that, I can't use it for the movement bonus. So that's why I moved all the people in here and put the blocker there. I wanted to get some even coverage here. I got 3 units and a AAA there. I got 3 units and a AAA there. I'm going to have 3 units and a AAA there. And I got a nice little counter-attacking force in Paris of 2 infantry and 3 artillery plus an air force here. So I feel like if the Americans want to take Normandy or southern France, I feel like I can take it back. Then I got 10 units here ready to go next turn, which will be necessary. So let me go ahead and place my units now. So that's 3 tanks that are going to go down here in Romania. That's 3 mechs that are going to go here in Berlin. Strategic bomber that's going to go in Berlin. 3 guys. It's going to go down here in southern France. And then 1 guy is going to go here in Normandy. So I feel pretty good about that as a German player. I think the Americans still can have a shot at southern Italy here, which kind of bothers me. But you notice I put 2 artillery here just to take a can opener move down to southern Italy to open things up for the Italians to take it back. I think right now the best play for the Americans is to take out southern Italy, even though they've got not a ton backing it up in terms of units that can guard those transports. But if you take southern Italy, you take Rome, you take the Italian money. They can't spend for a turn. So we'll have to see what happens here. The Germans are going to collect 40 plus 11 is 51, plus the only bonus they get is for Norway and Sweden. So they're going to collect 56 by my math. So 20, 40, 50, 5, and 6. That's what the Germans are going to collect for turn 5. Let me get all this stuff out of here. I'll clean that up in a minute. And the Germans will have $56 to spend on turn 6. All right, everyone. Admiral Seabass signing off.